Great and beautiful morning and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 562 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy Live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll tell you that we are welcome to the last trading day of the week. Ushering us almost the middle, day of the month of November, the 11th month of the year, as the year 2025 gradually winds down. I will tell you that the global scene was seeing a mixed market, in the matured market right away. And I'll tell you that the sentiment can change anytime, any day, and that was seen, in most of this matured market. We're seeing that in Asia market, as to speak now, that the weak no economic data from the second largest economy of the world is also shaken as the China continue to prolong no its exit from a downturn. I will tell you that this is the longest period that it took China to come out of this downturn that has weighed on that economy, even with different strategies of cutting rates, the government intervening or intervention or stimulating, but that has also continued to play. As we speak now, the October industrial production record or data or report shows that the continent or the country is still or the domain is still struggling, and that has weighed on the market in that region. And I'll tell you that have split over to we're seeing that Japan is also down. As we speak now, South Korea. The only market that is in green in that Asia region is just India. Don't forget that India has its own share with what with it with the tariff from US, and that they're still struggling. But you can see the power of planning and looking inward, playing out for what for India. And not only that, making the environment conducive but for both for local and international investors. You can see that most of the tech companies are also moving to have their headquarter operation from India. That are also playing. As I speak now, that is really market in green. Singapore and all are looking at southward. But one thing that also that the fear that that China, US might not, the expectation that US also cut trade in December is part of also this misdirection. And not only that, yes, after the reopening of US government, we are seeing that most of the averages in that one, average indices in that market are looking in the south. That has also kind of trigger the missed certainly we are seeing as across the globe. For me, investors should also take advantage of any pullback, just like we have experienced here in Nigeria. In previous days, we saw our market, bleeding, but in the last two trading days, we are seeing extension, of an uptrend or a kind of a rebound, which also this morning we come to that to speak. We are seeing that the market are open slightly in green, but when we come to that, we also know exactly what is happening right away. For market to remain above, 147,000 mark it's also a good news for the market. Don't forget that in a day that market lost from almost above 100 down to almost hitting below hitting our approach below for approaching 140. But we'll see that market are back. But as we speak, we go back to see what is happening in European stock market or European market. I will tell you that market there has really showed resilient as it extend to close positive for the week, beating all the market, even US market, and that for this period. That will this continue in Europe? I'll tell you yes. Also don't forget that Europe, ECB is the first to start cutting rates. We have seen that even if you look at the stocks in the Europe market seem to be grossly undervalued. With this European market beating that of US and others global market, will it continue? No, likely it is possible because I'll tell you also if you look at the Q3 number that released so far, we've seen that companies in Europe has done well in terms of number, and that is a plus. Also relative stability also, despite what is happening in France and also in Germany. Germany being the largest economy in that zone, was seeing support. Still, the general zone market remain green, and that also, for me, is a good news. Knowing that the countries so far, the economy is finding it fit, even that of Germany and that of France, despite some political instability or uncertainties at times. I should say what is happening in France today. But I believe that investors are carefully choosing where to play their international stocks. Don't forget that those international stocks that have offices in US, in China, in Europe, and all that, where are they going? Most of them are for that. I believe that also that Europe zone is also a place where investment, but also with all these trade tariff, most of countries are realigned their trade partners, and that might also favor Europe are, so to speak. But I believe that right now, for the week, Europe is heading to close positive, and that is a good news for that market right away, so to speak. But if you go back to see what is happening, in US market, I will tell you that we open, but even when we open, we are seeing that the market is going sideward. You can see there's at the beginning when it was on under government shutdown, we saw that the market was going up even when there were no more for some economic data to guide, but still market remained up. But now that it has been opened after the Congress has voted, and also the president has signed the expensive, or what to call it, the bill into law, that also, but see, after the opening we are seeing market going outward. And also, like I said earlier, that the fear of, as people are voting, that would they likely also cut rate in December? Yes, they cut rate twice. Will they continue in December? Don't forget that, according to the chairman of Fed, they are likely also to extend this, also going into what, into the year 2026. For me, it's also a plus for investors to look at where is US going in terms of all this performance, and what is going to guide investor to take the right decision at the right time. And you here over here in Nigeria, it's an opportunity for you to know what is happening in this region and position right in good stocks, so that at the end of the day, you'll be in for what, for profit. I believe that investors should pay attention to this. It's very, very important. But don't believe because of all this, crude oil price, commodity price going up because of the opening of government. But all as we speak now are trying to work to find direction. That means we are seeing a market that is saturating in the midst of both in the commodity market, while other investment gold, Bitcoin, we can see that all this move of expected rate cut, the opening of government, has also continued to drive no expectation and that no investment windows. But you and I, as a trader investor, any market you are trading, you need to understand and also that's why your trading plan is very, very important. It's as important of what, when an airplane is on air to navigate, he need all the DPS to do. Also, for you to be able to stay in the market confidently, you must have a trading plan, you must have an investment objective, and also how do you follow trend. And that will be our discussion for today. But if you come back to look at what is happening in Africa, I'll tell you that African markets are also an open mixed, but we are seeing that most of the African markets are in marginal gains. But in Nigeria, I told you that it opened early, but as we speak, and that is why life market is very, very important. Looking at the chart I've been displayed, we are seeing as we speak that the market is also adjusting down. We are seeing also profit taken after the 2 days rebound. Food is part of the market, but I tell you, as all eyes are also in Nigeria here on macroeconomic data, especially looking to see the October inflation figure, and also look, I said that the month of November to January, these 3 months are most active month, but let's see, because of assumption change, because of expectation, because of uncertainties surrounding the world, unclear policies of the government, and also policies somehow thought that government will make policy the next day they reverse it, and also not consulting enough, as also shaking the world, shaking the confidence. And also don't forget that there's also a threat from from external body, external threat that also is part of what is influencing our market. But the good news that the market we are trading, the company on the exchange, the economy remain intact in terms of fundamental. That means that is the beauty of the market, that the market rebounding is a plus for those that are able to take advantage of the correction or the pullback or the panic selling to buy into value. But at this time, we're going to discuss what are the importance of what having a trade plan, investment objective, and also taking advantage of what following trend for work for profitable trading on the NGX. These are key things that we need to discuss today, because it will go a long way to determine how far on what investors we're looking at the end of the day. If you're able to take this and also go along and invest with knowledge, I will tell you that yes, you will stay ahead of the market. You will follow others to panic when they are panicking, because you understand what you are doing, what you are doing when you are investing. These are the things that we need to discuss this morning, and that will help us to make informed investment decision anytime, any day, because that is the only way you can stay ahead of the market anytime, any day. Because you are in the market to make profit, not just to follow bandwagon. That means you must pay attention to whatever that is happening in the market, so that you and I can navigate intelligently and also still remain in profit. But many people, once they are seeing market not going their way, automatically they are panicking and they jump out of their position out of fear. But today class will give you more confidence to trade the market with confidence that at the end of the day, you can now make informed investment decisions that will help you to stay on the winning part of the market. And once you are on the winning part of the market, I will tell you that you are in for the real trading business. But when you are being frustrated by not having plan and also not following the trend, because that is the only way. I tell you that if you follow the trend, it will help you to know how to navigate all the unfolding events in the market, because your plan is number one that is keeping you there. But because you are following the trend, I'm telling you, you will get out of what the market positively. But when you don't have any plan and you are just in the market, you'll be tossed up and down, and that also going to affect your position. That is why you must pay attention to your investment objective. Also, once you have that objective, you know why you're in the market, and that why it does not only just have an objective, a clear objective written down and followed. And that's why I say for those that have followed us in invest data, we don't joke with what with our buy range, we have also call stop loss and also profit target. As a successful trader or a smart successful investor and also smart trader, you need to have a plan. Is that plan that will help you? For those that have joined us for all this while, especially from 2012 to date, you understand that we don't deal with plan. And for those that also follow us in all our invest, when we invest, we're looking at the coming year. Like this year, I say invest 2026. That means in 2025, we're already planning how to take advantage of the year coming, because we're going to look at the policies, the direction that the market is going. You must follow trend, but your plan is very, very important. Are you the one that want to position forward for 12 calendar months? Are you the one that want to position for 90 days? And that is the position of our master class. Are you the one that want to trade your weekly? And that is for the buy and sell signal. Also, want to play for 6 months, want to play for monthly, because as the weekly signal come, it helps you to navigate the market. Why the master class will have a clear direction of for the next 90 days, this is what I want to achieve. And also for 1 year, this is what I want to achieve. All these plans will help you to know where you fit, because it is your a source of your investment, what you want to achieve. Because if you are planning to trade and build your portfolio to build your house, or not to send your trend, you need to plan. Is it for I'm entering the market for 4 years, for 5 years, I want to be in the market for 10 years. These are the things that you should have at the back of your mind. But if you are the type that want to take your children's school fees or your rent to trade market, I'll tell you the stock market is not for you unless you have experience at your best. But tell you money that you don't need, or money that yes you have set out for a long time, is what you need, so that you can be you can be more confident, relaxed to trade. But yes, those that are entering good fundamentals and stuff, you must have, am I entering this stuff for 1 year? Am I entering for just 3 months? I know this, when I tell you, a clear goal and a plan will help you to work to make informed decision at the right time, so that you avoid entering a bad situation or a bad trend. And one thing that is also very, very important is that when you have a plan, that plan will help you to know where to navigate to. It will tell you the kind of investment window, also your plan also tell you the kind of person you are yourself, because I tell you that most plans do not work because of the trader or investor itself. No, you need to have a proper mindset. Now all this will help you to make that work informed investment decision. But if you don't have that clear plan, you are bound to work to be tossed up and down by the market. But for those that have been with us, we have continually to open door and also teach and express how you should set your plan. Because if you have a plan, your source of fund is part of it, your own mindset all over is a part of it. The source of the kind of company you want to, and that's why also if you want to invest, invest in company that will invest in company that will understand the business model, understanding the business behind the figures we are seeing. If you want to go into food and beverages, you know why we are getting there. If you want to buy into power, you know what is behind them because of utility. You want to buy into service company, you want to buy into like that, because it is your investment will tell you which sector will deliver what you want for yourself. That means you will not only just be following bad wagon in the market up and down. No, it is your plan and also market trend, because I tell you anytime there are three phases of the market. When I mean three phases, not phase of up when I mean accumulation or markup distribution. I mean the third direction of market, that would be better. The third direction of market, either an up market, a down market, or a market that is trended. You see, and every investor will want to be identify with their up market or down market. Why? Because when market is up, it shows a clear direction. When it is down, but when market is ascending, both the operators, both the market players, both the investors, everyone regulator are in dilemma. Why? Because there's no change of activities. Then for that, investor want to that. Yes, we are taking advantage of up market to make money. I think advantage of down market to position for another because market go in circle. That is why I said understanding the market is very, very important. It's not just being an investor or trader. That's why knowledge investing is what we preach, and that is the only way you can stay ahead of the market. You can navigate during a down market and what and a bear market, and that knowledge is part of what we're going to also doing by December 6th, and which I believe that I've said it in this class at the beginning of the month of November that we have to start preparing ourselves for that. December 6th, we have about 8 market operators, not only market operators, professionals with different background. Some are bringing technical analysis, fundamental, economic, trading or investment knowledge. These are successful. I'm going to share their idea. Looking at the economy, we are entering. You can see what task uncertainty across the market, even a Trump clause across the market. How are you going to navigate it in pre-election year? You need to have this. That's why you must make yourself available so that you can take advantage of information to share in that class to enter the year ahead of what the year and position in that direction. Yes, but you can see that at times you can use your fundamental technical analysis or use all these things. But when external forces come, you can see that even when we are seeing that earnings for the territory have reviewed the position of the market and the company on the exchange, and also the economic data have performed, you can see that when there was the external threat, everybody was trying to panic before credit data coming from what internal source, which are part of what way the market because of external and internal market forces were the one that people. But now the internal forces are also trying to clarify because I tell you, every investor want to know where he or she is heading to. When it is not clear, they are bound to wait to sit at the fence to see. And when it's important to just hold cash and watch, we can see that will trigger because the tax policy that especially the capital gain has weighed on the market. But now clarity is still not yet there yet, even when it's coming gradually, because there are some people that have bought some stock at a high price, and as we speak now, they are still lost in their own. And if the policy is saying that yes, after 31st of 31st of December will be the price that was. Yes, for example, let's give people that bought Owando at 97 naira, or you got at 98 or 98 naira, and you bought at that peak there, and the stock is still trending down as we speak. It's really around 43, 44. If by December 2025, 31st, and Owando is still selling for 50 naira or 60 naira, for those that bought at 90 at 95, they are still in 98. They are still in loss. And if you want to start counting now, if we want to that they bought at 98, now because it closed the year 2025 at 50 naira, and in 2026, if that crossing to 60, 70, you now we say that is a gain. It's never a gain because it is a loss from what from the previous year. I think we need more clarity. And I just say, accurately, more confidence is built. But I believe that for me, what the simple thing government should do at this point is that if they're going to review this task to either straight to 10% and see how they can gradually graduate it or move it from 10 to 15 to 18, gradually that from moving from 10 to what, or they suspend this until everything becomes clear, until a wider consultation is being carried out. Yeah, you might have consulted and there, but I think they didn't find a lot of things. Even the people that are promoting, they didn't come out to say, oh, 31st, or if that have come, I will not see kind of panic selling also. Also, this what I don't mention now that we need clarity in those that are staying lost. People that bought also some of these insurance company at a high price when they rally, and they are still. But if at the end of the day they've not got it to the price they bought before, the year end, how good will do? That means if the price is at 2 naira and they bought at 3 naira, 4 naira, if you start making profit, to that, cross the 3 naira, 4 naira, when will they start saying because there is cost for that? You pay that after you're taking care of your cost. These are the things we need more clarity. So at the end of the day, I think we need wider consultation where the market operators and also the retail investor or the institutional investor need to come together for clear understanding before this task can be put into place. We can still postpone it to 2027 or from the last quarter of 2026 so that every consultation needed will be because I don't want a situation where we are taking up external forces and the one that internal, I will tell you, confidence crisis or assessment which we discussed last day is very, very important that you manage. If not, it will spill over to other things that at the end of the day, all efforts, all the policy reform will also receive nothing has been done. I believe that our managers are listening, and we that are investors also pay attention to what data to guide us, especially now that all eyes are still on this coming inflation figure. We need to pay attention. Like I said, that I've mentioned things we need to know about your planning. It's key that your planning must be clear and also short. And as you are executing planning, any error mistake, you need to note it and go back. If you are moving with your plan, you need to fight them. That plan go into what into strategy. If you are losing with your plan, also you have to review it, and also that's why you must note it and go back and see where you are doing it wrong and review and build a better one. Plan is very, very key. It's just like you want to enter a house. You don't have key, you don't know the way you will enter. But if you have plan, you know how to navigate any market situation any day and also source of your home. Then following trend is very, very important. When you are following trend, that means what is happening in the market, you need to know where is the market heading to. Because I said trend leading indicator is more than lagging, that what we call the lagging indicators. If you are following trend lead indicators or you are following trend in trading, it does mean that yes, you are seeing ahead of the market and you are responding. And I'll tell you that one of the most strongest leading indicator will say is money flow, followed by your price action. It's key. You must know where because it tells you about whatever is happening at that particular moment. That is why whether you are using a minute chart, you are using a 1 day chart, you are using 2 day chart, it's very, very important. You must understand what is it saying. You need to be able to read the sentiment of the people. That is why when you are following trend, it go beyond just looking at the direction that's going up. What is the volume saying? What is the money flow saying? What is the momentum? What is all that it will take? Because it is that demand and supply will tell you where the action is. But that was where to create opportunity because you want to identify a trend before it take off. And it is where the money entry that will help you to capture that trend and also how long you stay in that trend will also determine what event that's unfolding in terms of fund, in terms of volume, in terms of demand and supply, so that at the end of the day, you're able to achieve a success at the end. And that is why many investors look at, or many traders look at following a trend approach when trading as number one to identify an existing trend and how far it will go. But for me, I believe that that is where the opportunity and that is where the profit is. Because if you follow trend at the early stage and not just enter at a long time, and that's why I said those that enter one to get level when it was dry, there are people that jump at the peak before start coming down. You must know where is the trend, how long has the trend been. Not just follow them because they're just jumping. No, how long has the trend been? Understand it so that it will help you to make what inform decision on what to do with that trend. And once you able to identify it, and that is why many people that follow trend, it's a challenge for them because seeing a trend that's going up, you need to know is it at the peak, is it at the beginning, what is the momentum, what is the strength behind that trend. And people don't take all this, they don't want to jump in. If the strength in that trend is weak, you will know. We have seen the rebound of the market now. Looking at the market for 2 days, you can see that the volume for the first day was higher than the second volume. Today's volume, and also if you look at the numbers, of course, that gained on that first day that rebounded, and the one that gained the previous day. This is you look at. Not that the market is wrong. For market to come almost crossing the T line, we know that yes, the market is set to go. But fact that you have it at the back of your mind. I've said in one of the class that at any given time, that any market want to come back to the mean, whether the market have gone above the T line up, it want to come back to that T line. Even if it has gone below, you have to come back to that T line. That mean over time is very, very important. And that tells that no market remain up or no market remain down. You must pay attention to this as a trend following investor or trader because it will help you to catch what the longer potential of the profit or the trend if you know the right time to jump in. And that is why it's very important as you are a trader, always know that there's always a profit target. Don't just follow trend for following. Before you jump into a trade or a trend, you must know what you want to achieve, and that's that you must define what you are into. Am I into this trend to make 20%? Am I into this trend to make 50%? Have it at the back of your mind. And when things that attract you, that you are seeing that trend that don't move, if it is not there again, you should know. And that's why I said your mindset should be very, very important. Don't be carried away because the trend is going up or somebody is pushing you. No, understand how to read the trend, how to read what the market. Looking at I told you the direction of market, up the market, down market, and saturated market or sideways market, anyone you want to call it, you must go at. Then after you have seen the trend, that is where pattern will start coming in. What is the chart pattern you are seeing? Is it a continued chart pattern or a reversal chart pattern? We saw a reversal chart pattern in the market. Looking at the candlestick as we speak, look at the candlestick on Tuesday that put the market down. That's like I think as the market has recovered for 2 days as of today, it has not taken it off. You see that market is still struggling because it's still below this long candlestick. Once it crosses above, the next person, yes, market have recovered from the dip it recorded or the correction that the pullback you have, you have a weakness. You have to understand it, and that is what we call the pattern. But a continuation, chart pattern also when it cross and continue, you also know that this is a continuation. That once you're able to have this concept of price action and what and the chart pattern following the trend, I will tell you you are connected to what to make more money because that is what you need. Already your plan for regarding you, the kind of trend position you want to stay, the kind of the time frame you want to stay. These are things that you must pay attention. The price action is reviewing the demand and supply, and also why other things that are connected to it are telling you how far a strength in this direction that the market is going, how long will it go? But I will tell you that in a bear market, where market is in downturn, it's also a review a lot of things to you. Where is the right place for you to jump in? Because when people were panicking out, you should know that yes, there's rebound on that way. Only that yes, if I don't know how long it will, but if you are in fundamental stance stocks, you must pay attention because it's very, very important that you understand that no market remain up and no market remain down. If we are not having no risk system induce a what induce a breakdown of bear market or weak fundamentals, no liquidity, all that. But when we see that fundamental company are strong, but because of perception, we saw turn around. People are panicking. You know that it will not last because I believe that confidence crisis and settlement crisis is far, far worse than what or kill more than war. That means that key economy more than war. We need to always control it and also follow it as trader and investor. As the micro manager want to control it, but you and I must also follow it to see where we can take advantage of that to make what informed decision. And that's why even when you are following trend, you want to also know that a trend when you see that markets are above your trend line is also a good one. But follow the trend and know exactly as to how bullish the trend will go or how long it will go, how big at the back of the because opportunity already inbuilt in there. And also when you are following this trend, you must know to do when market or price touch the trend line and bounce back, how big at the market when it happen and when you break it down also the information that is communicating to you. That is why your goal must flow with what where you are going when you are trading. But when you are the market without goal, you will always be tossed up and down with the market. And that's those that follow bad wagon at the end of the day, they get their finger burnt. Yes, before we round up the class, we'll quickly look at the market data that I think like it escaped me, but let's say look at the market data. As we speak now, market is you can see that it's marginally in red. Not moving or not moving also marginally red. You can see it here for yourself as we speak now. That market is about below the it has crossed 147,000 this morning to touch 147,000 and 47.50 open at 146,095 not considered another 50.03. But to speak, market is marginally down right away. The market is down by almost a 0.4 or 0.3 go there. This also tells you that market is a bit in the red as we speak now. We'll let to watch to see how far it will go. Let's put our cursor here and see where the market is right now. That's gone down also to 146,703 and now as we speak right away. Market has also used more than 0.4, so almost market all over that by 0.3 as we speak right now. But if you look at the market bread still remain marginally positive for market internal. We're having about 21 gainers and 18 losers as we speak now. This is the market. But quickly let us call our because of our time. Or this is the last trading day of the week. But let me look at some indicators to see how far we have to see our money flow away, our T line away from the market for the indicator and also what Mark is saying right away. These are very, very important that we need to also share, in this market. It's very, very important. Let's turn our T line to our normal 8 days key that we have to put it. Looking at this chart here, you can see that the market remain, the T line has been like a resistance for the market until the market cross the action cross this T line. That's why I will say that yes, the market is strong again. Market is relatively weak now because it's trading below the T line. Once it crosses it, and the possibility of market crossing before it close to the fine, but I'll tell you that money flow on a daily chart is down, below 30, and I'll tell you this is what we call. As I said, the market still present opportunity for those that really want to take advantage of the market is at home. If you look at it, you can see that oversold region. If you look at MACD on the data, MACD is already looking up. You can see that it's trending up. It's a good one. Once this blue line, for this line, that will confirm. But already you can see that this histogram is already kind of navigating or kind of looking up. I see for this long one, short one up here. Good sign for me on the daily chart. But quickly look at what is the market doing on the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, I said that market has crossed the T line. You can see it here. For now, it's flat on the T line. Money flow have gone as high as 171. You can see the important I'm using a long time frame, a daily chart, and an hour chart. We'll do that at the market is that you can see that the market is still very strong, but because it's trading sideways now and flat on the T line, it also watch. But money flow can show sign of what fund entering the market on a shorter time. So you can see trending from as low as almost you can see from here when market was, you can see at the point you can see the beauty of using the money flow. I think that is a leading indicator. You can see here when everybody demand and supply, you can see what has happened all this while. You can see that even this morning, fund is still entering the market, despite there are still some pocket of profit taking after 2 days rally. Market is more on the way. You must pay attention to all this. It's very, very important. For other double class, you must pay attention to your trading plan of your investment objective to guide you to navigate the market anytime, any day. Don't just follow the bandwagon. Yes, we'll do more of how to position for 2026 in the coming world. Invest 2026 come December 6th. If you're not registered, as I speak now for the class, I have seen people pay. You need to also join them to prepare for work for the year. For the past 2019 and 2012, we have given data all the stocks that were picked, all the stock picks we did, in all this year in our invest, for the new year. I will tell you that it's only about 2 years or 2 occasions that the market will go against us or the NGX perform above us. In all, we perform above the market and also lead NGX, meet our target and so far. That's why it must be, because I know that in election year comes some challenges, but I tell you, being a year we expect to see liquidity, as election control closer, we need to take advantage of that. And also, if at the end of November MPC meeting, we'll see another rate cut that will push out us into 2026 with what rate coming down, and we'll see that is the only way we can drive our economy to achieve above 4% GDP that the government is targeting for 2025 and ahead for 2026. On this note, I'll say thank you. See you on Monday. Others that are in the other class will be seeing ourselves or discussing at 12 noon tomorrow, hopefully, to say the importance of volatility, how you can take advantage of volatility to grow wealth and also to accumulate in this market. Thank you and see you. Bye.